welcome to the Womenomics podcast. I am your co-host, Sierra Bryant, owner of T. Bryant Notary Services.
And I'm your co-host, Corinne Jones, owner of Freedom Notary Services.
Yeah, so we are super excited. Welcome to episode, I'm not sure, but today we talk about habits, and one of the habits is going to be writing down the episode numbers. So
right. Background, it's in queue. So yeah. When it come out, that's when y'all gonna see it.
Exactly. So yeah, today we are talking about unlearning poor habits. And let me tell you, this conversation is near and dear to me because, child, I got so many habits I got to release. Mm-hmm. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. I literally, as soon as I hopped on and I was talking to Corinne, I was like, I need a bedtime. That's the first thing I said is I need a bedtime.
And I said, why do you need a bedtime, Sierra? When did you go to sleep last night? And what did you say?
I went to sleep at like 1:32.
And then why is that an issue for you?
Because I cannot wake up in the morning as early as I want to. I feel like I'm dragging to get up. So it just kind of like cuts into my day. And overall, I feel like you're so much more productive in the morning, like those golden hours. Those golden hours are called golden hours for a reason. So for me, we already know having the proper amount of sleep just helps with so many things cognitively. It makes our body feel more rested. It gives, space, to really just process out the day before and let our minds and bodies do what it do in the nighttime. You know what I mean?
Right.
When we shorten in that time, we start taking away from like that natural process. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Like for me, that's not an issue I have. I'm an early bird because I'm addicted to coffee. I go to bed early, and then I wake up my goal was 5 a.m. and I've been doing that for a while, but sometimes I fall off, but I do get up around 6 a.m. I drink my coffee and I write in my journal, and then anything I want to do without any distractions that's important, I can get it done. My mind is fresh and open. But my challenge, a habit that I want to develop is execution. I know that's like so broad, but I always have a running to-do list. I always know I can set my to-do list for the day. I know what my goals are, but actually saying it to the finish line, like I have a hard time doing that. So that's a whole nother episode. Execution. That's another. But yeah, like I'm good with getting organized and getting up, but just seeing everything through, I get distracted along the way. So that's just a habit. That's probably micro habits around that I need to develop. But yeah, starting your day off right sets the trajectory for your day. So yes, you guys to get in the bed early.
I know. And like, I always be like, oh, my most creative hours are at nighttime. But what I'm really trying to say is my most creative hours is when I don't have any distractions. And I put that with nighttime because my daughter is asleep, the whole world is asleep. It's just me and my thoughts and my computer, but I can create that same environment in the morning. Like if I wake up earlier, she's still gonna be asleep. She ain't getting up at no 6 a.m. She ain't got no job.
Yeah. And you know what? No matter what we're doing, we have habits, good or bad. We have habits, like we always talk about developing good ones, but we have habits all the time. And so some of them just don't serve us. And maybe once upon a time it did. Maybe you could be up late when you're in college studying and stuff. That was ideal. But now we got to adjust them. And the challenge is like readjusting. We can have good intentions, but then when it comes to taking action and doing it, we'll do it for just like January 1st, like weight loss, fitness and stuff.
Right.
Why do people fall off? It happens every time. But I do understand. It's like they say, well, how long does it take to build a habit?
1 day.
28 days, 21 days.
21, yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard. We're going to have to be more accountable to each other because that helps tremendously because our brain has to be rewired to adapt. Like our habits in our life are so powerful, and I guess they're designed to keep us safe. You know more about this. Tell us about the book you told everybody about.
I know. So last year, I read Atomic Habits by James Clear. And when I tell you that book is so transformative, it don't even make no sense. And honestly, it helped me build a habit. Like committing to reading that book helped me build a habit. So when I first started, I was like, chapters, like how do I want to read it to ensure I finish it basically. And it's like, okay, I can do a certain amount of time a day, maybe 5-10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. I can do a chapter a day, or I can do a certain number of pages a day. And I felt like the number of pages a day created the most consistency for me, because chapters vary. Some chapters are shorter, some chapters are longer. So it might take more or less time. And then the other thing with time is like, sometimes I'm just a slow reader. So 30 minutes, I might only get through X, Y, and Z pages because I'm, distracted or something like that. When I committed to like reading 10 pages, I read 10 pages, period. It doesn't matter if it was stopping in the middle of the chapter. It doesn't matter if it's starting at the beginning of a new chapter. I just know consistently 10 pages is typically not going to take me that much time. Mm-hmm. And something that I can repeat over and over and over again. And it's a consistent number like that. The 10 pages does not change. So when I adapted that, I really committed to reading 10 pages a day. I started to take notes in my phone. So things that jumped out at me, I would just like have a little, I opened up the notes app on my iPhone and I would just put the things that I felt like resonated with me. And the great thing about this book, have you read this book?
I listened to it on Audibles, and I listened to maybe the first couple of chapters. I got to the point where he was talking about habit stacking, where you associate a new habit with something that you already do that you really like. And so I adapted that when it came to exercising in the morning. I ain't gonna talk about how it's no longer in place, but it works because I love coffee. That motivates me to get up in the morning, start my day. And so I need to move my body. So I would put my coffee in a thermos and sip it while I'm walking on the treadmill. I began to have this really positive association to exercising because I love getting up in the morning when everything is asleep, my children are asleep. Mm-hmm. And then I love coffee. So, and then you were telling me, you told me, show me the app and everything about reading a Bible in 365. So I have the app. So I would do, initially, like reading the Bible every day, I could do it until I no longer was interested. So then you lose the habit. So what I stacked it onto the other habit of getting on the treadmill, drinking the coffee that I love. So I was on the treadmill. That's a new habit. I'm reading the Bible on my app. That's another habit, all because I like to drink coffee. So that is what I got from the book, habit stacking. That you can implement that in every area of your life, as long as the habit that you do like is positive. Like we're not going to like do some drugs while we get on the treadmill. That's not going to work. But that's as far as I got in the book. But I think I need the hardback book. I need to have physically feel and look at the book, because listening to it on Audible, I get distracted. Your mind starts going, for me anyway, listening to him. Like if I'm cooking dinner or something, washing dishes, I can listen. But then I start thinking about other stuff and I got to keep rewinding. So I got to get the book.
No. So that was a great way, an example of explaining habit stacking. Like that was perfect. That was so good. So the one thing I love about this book is, one, it breaks down the science of like how we develop habits, how we stick to them. People always say it takes 21 days to build a habit, but never really breaking down the mental part of it, because it is all mental. Your mind tells your body what to do. So they say once you control your mind, you can pretty much control everything, including your flesh, which is your body. So the one thing that I do love about this book, or what's the benefits of reading the hardback book versus the Audible, is that he basically creates a table. So he builds basically on the education piece. So he teaches you, one, how to create a good habit, and two, how to break a bad habit. And at the end of each chapter, he basically builds almost like a cheat sheet. And he teaches you, one, the 4 steps, or they call it like the 4 laws. But one, the 4 laws of creating a good habit is 1, making it obvious. So obviously writing down like why you think it's a good habit, really just creating some intention around it and like really kind of breaking down why you want to implement it. So that's the first one. The second one is making it attractive. Basically, like you said, habit stacking. So you're making it attractive. You already know that you love coffee. You already know what the benefits of waking up early is. Right. And then you the benefits of feeding your soul with scripture. And so now putting all 3 of these together and you're making it look way more attractive because 1, you made it obvious. You identified the reasons why it's going to be good for you or why it's a good habit to adapt. And then you're making it attractive because you're stacking it with other tasks or activities that you already like to do. So that's the second one. The third one is making it easy. And you spoke about this too, which I love. 1, the treadmill, I'm gonna assume is in your home. So you're making it easy. You're not gonna have to go out and, go and work out and stuff like that. Secondly, you put your coffee in a thermos. So now you're making it portable. Now you're making it more accessible for you to do other activities like walk on a treadmill and still enjoy your coffee. And then also with the 365, the Bible app, everything is conveniently on your phone.
Right.
So it's on your phone. So you have one thing with coffee, you're walking on a treadmill, and the other thing, you have your Bible in your hand and you're reading it. So you're making it easier for you. So you're basically, they call it like reducing the friction, but just reducing any type of obstacles that may stop you from starting that good habit. And lastly, you're making it satisfying. So you're basically reinforcing why you're doing this good thing in the first place with an immediate reward. So in your
case, I was doing all of that.
Exactly. See, you don't be knowing, but it's true. It's true. And that's how you create good habits. And you can see, even when you were talking about it, you talked about what you did so specifically because you made it satisfying, because you added that thing that you know that you love, that you always indulge with in the mornings, and you just created 2 more good habits to add on to that. So that's really the power of this book. And I think once we break it down in that way, it doesn't seem as hard to start adapting good habits. I think where the struggle is breaking the bad ones.
Right. So like let's say that was your habit. It works. You like the coffee, treadmill, the Bible, all of it works. But if you can't get your butt in bed early enough, then you can't. It won't even happen because you're too tired. Exactly. So if the bad habits stand up too late, then it makes the other thing not even possible. Yeah. It's a challenge.
Yes, more. So what I also love about the book is he gives you so many tools. He gives you tools to break bad habits. He gives you tools to adapt good habits. And one of the tools that I started to use is basically like redirecting how can I explain it? It's a transition in your mindset. So you're basically redirecting the power that you give to the bad habits. So instead of, when people say like, oh, I don't want to go on a diet because I don't want to feel restricted in what it is that I can and cannot eat. Whereas when you want to restructure that, you want to look at what are the benefits of it instead of what you're losing. Okay. So you're basically reframing that sentence. I do mine in the form of an affirmation. So instead of feeling like, oh, I'm missing out because I'm not staying up all night, I feel like I'm losing out on precious work time and stuff like that. On the flip side, because I'm looking at what I'm gaining versus what I'm losing, I'm grateful to have a full night's sleep. I'm grateful to wake up early, to be able to get my day started earlier, get some quiet time for myself, and increase my productivity because now I'm writing down my to-do list because I have space and time to do that because I'm not waking up at the beginning of my day. They're on. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I didn't think of it like that. Yeah. Your mind is everything.
It is. It is. And that's why a space like this podcast was so important to create, because it's all about your mindset. And a lot of the times we're the ones who limits our own mindset. We limit our own level of activity or what we feel is good and increase, maybe what we feel is not so good because we're still learning how to train our minds. And at the end of the day, our flesh has to be stronger. I mean, excuse me, our mind tells our flesh what to do. So our mind has to be stronger than our flesh so it knows the right things to do. So that was one of the things that I feel like really helped me. And I actually wanted to share my affirmations list because it was something about, there you go. Reframing your habits to highlight their benefits rather than their drawbacks is a fast and lightweight way to reprogram your mind and make a habit seem more attractive. Ooh. This is in the book. When I said I wasn't playing when it came to this book, I mean, I was taking notes. I was not playing. So I'm just going to read you my affirmations list. And even me, I want to get back to reading this to myself every morning when I wake up. Like I want this to be one of the first things that I say to myself, just to set the tone for the day. So it says, I am grateful for the opportunity to wake up early and have time to center myself and increase productivity. I'm grateful for the opportunity to express gratitude and share my lessons with my community. I'm grateful for the opportunities to grow my business and journey to time freedom. I'm grateful for the opportunity to strengthen my endurance and challenge myself physically. That's for working out, y'all, if y'all need that. I'm grateful for the opportunity to improve myself, my 10X mindset, and my work ethic. I'm grateful for the opportunity to encourage others by pursuing my dreams. I'm grateful for the opportunity to nourish my body with mindful eating and water intake. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to work towards financial independence by increasing my income potential and saving my money to increase purchasing power.
Ooh.
Yes, y'all. Y'all gotta get with these affirmations.
Yeah. It's like, how could you not move in the direction of whatever your new habits are what you want them to be if you have those type of affirmations?
And you're reminding yourself every day. So much of the time we want to set it and forget it. We want to do it once, twice, and think we're going to keep doing it. And we're not putting in the intentional energy and focus to complete it every day. When you start like at the beginning of the year, all right, I'm going to work out 4 days a week. I'm going to sign up with this gym membership. I'm going to get these clothes. I'm going to get an accountability partner. And you think if you set all of these things up in the beginning, then you don't have to revisit those inspirations or those levels of support. You just think, all right, well, I'm going to just keep going to the gym. No, baby. Sometimes we got to go back to the basics. Okay.
Because we may think, and I think for lack of a better word, I think sometimes it comes with just being lazy with our mind. Like we think that our legs will just get us to the gym every day because we made that declaration. So, and because we feel good today about our decision, that's going to carry us on. But our feelings come and go. I mean, it could be staying up late. It could be a bad mood. It could be just over the monotony of it all. And so you lose it. So if we just start with our mind, like you said, and set those type of intentions, then then you have something to counteract the laziness, the self-doubt, the whatever we were doing before we infused the gym in our routine. That won't be as attractive because we constantly are. It's almost like smothering your past, your old habits, or your old thinking that leads to the habits.
Yes.
And I don't give myself enough energy into that. Like I was saying, one habit I want to develop is executing on my task or goals, but I don't do a lot of thought behind it. I just be like, why don't I have it written down? I just got to do it. Tomorrow, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do everything else. That's it. But no, I need to look at it differently and affirm to myself, because it's reasons why I'm not getting it done. Maybe because I'm too overwhelmed, or maybe because I don't think I can, or maybe because I'm so busy I'm so busy connected to my distractions. Oh, there's a bird. And that's what I always do that. So that's what I do. So even though I set up and I'm ready to blast out my task for the day, there's a bird, and I'm just so connected to being distracted as part of my routine. And it's an awful habit. But if I say, okay, I'm getting distracted, Corinne, but if I just allow myself to feel the resistance of not being distracted or not checking my phone or not scrolling social media, I will have these amazing things that, like you just affirmed. Yeah. So then the motivation to stick in there and feel uncomfortable, because I think a lot of reasons why we fall back into our bad habits is because the discomfort of the change, that little resistance that we don't even think about. You know, like if you got to go to the gym and you commit to going to the gym in the morning and you drive there, it's cold outside, it's winter, I don't feel like it, but you'll just stay in the bed and make an excuse. But it's really because you don't have anything to counteract the thoughts that you have. And I need to work on that. Thank you, girl. I need to work on that because I don't necessarily have the thoughts to counter it. So I lose every time. It's not just the declaration of the habit that you established.
Yeah. And that's why, like, affirmation, that's why people say, you know, knowing your why is so powerful. Affirmations are so powerful because it is easy for us to forget why it is that we're doing something when we start to feel that resistance, when we start to get to that discomfort. At the end of the day, when we remind ourselves, like the first thing we're doing is remind ourselves why we started this, it makes a world of a difference. I actually started saying a prayer before my workouts. That's been a habit that I've been building because I be feeling like I be needing a little bit more than me. Like I be needing a little bit of Jesus.
So how has it helped you having that? How has that helped you, your workouts or being consistent with them?
It's been actually helping so much. And in this regard, I guess I really didn't recognize it, but I've been habit stacking this as well. So the first things that I've been doing is getting ready for the gym when I wake up in the morning, like having my gym clothes on already. Even if like I have an appointment, I at least have this on and then I'll change it to my clothes for my appointment because your appointment is an hour. You know what I'm saying? But getting yourself ready to go to the gym, that sometimes you feel like it need to take all day. Like all day I got to remind still got to go to the gym. You got on your workout clothes, you still got to go to the gym. And for me, expressing gratitude has helped so much. So it's something about going to the gym and giving thanks that I'm about to go through something that's going to test myself physically. It's going to test myself mentally to be able to push through that first inkling of like being tired or being sore or a little bit of pain. I'm grateful for the opportunity to even have space in my day to work out. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to pay for a gym membership because sometimes that is a hindrance for people. I'm grateful for the opportunity to even, you know, want to do this and knowing that what I do today is going to make me a little bit stronger tomorrow, which is going to make me a little bit stronger the day after. So for me, I'm always just showing gratitude, like, you know, thank you, Lord, for this workout. Look, this be my thing too. Thank you, Lord, for this. Thank you, Lord, for this workout. We gonna get it done because we have the opportunity to do it. We have people around us that's supporting us. We're encouraging people that we don't even know we're encouraging. You might be making somebody healthier just by you doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I just love the idea that I can encourage people by moving in my own lane. Something that to me is just so powerful that we don't take advantage of. And sometimes that can be our fuel. It's like, I know I'm inspiring someone by doing the things that are going to make me better. So now it's a double whammy. Like now I'm making myself better and I'm inspiring myself to show up and I'm inspiring others around me. And most of the time when they keep seeing you show up, they're going to start wanting to show up too, even if they want to show up with you. So sometimes they'll actually work out with them or ask you certain questions, and that's your opportunity to educate. But the point is that we're all building healthier habits together. And some people need an example of how that can be done. And you can position yourself as a person to provide that example. And it's going to directly benefit you first and everybody else residually after. So I just like to be thanking God for that, because those are opportunities that get overlooked sometimes. And sometimes that's what you need instead of like, oh, you know, I'm just working out to do X, Y, and Z. Like, no, today I'm working out to inspire somebody. And that might just be the reason that get me through for that day. So
that is so good.
Yeah, child, it's real out here.
That's important. And you know what? Even if a person, including myself, is not don't feel like you don't know where to start with starting positive habits because you've broken them for so long. Some people don't even start a good habit anymore because they don't want to be disappointed. So what they do is, I think a good tip is to just surround yourself with people who have better habits. It's going to bleed into what you do because that's the energy that they're giving off. Just put yourself in new spaces, even if it's on watching a podcast, watching us, like building a new community. Then you're gonna, and if you committed to that, learning that and being part of that, it's going to feed into your spirit, and you're going to, be more thoughtful about the habits that at least are not working, so you can move into things that are working. That's what I get.
No, and that's great. And the other thing that is amazing about this book is not only does it teach you how to adapt good habits, but it also teaches you how to break bad habits. And a lot of the times that's the counteractive, piece that we don't put as much energy into. We want to just, all right, I want to start this good habit. Let me put all of this into this good habit, not realizing that the bad habit is the one that's keeping you from being consistent with the good habit.
Mm-hmm.
The great thing again about this book is he creates a cheat sheet for you. Like he goes through each step individually in the chapter, and then he builds on them at the end. So when you want to break a bad habit, you want to make it invisible. So you want to reduce exposure, reduce different cues. So if maybe you're someone who watches a lot of TV at nighttime, then maybe removing the TV from your bedroom is what's necessary, because now your bedroom is a space of it's a sacred space for you to rest, for you to start to turn down your mind and your level of what's the word I'm looking for?
Stimulation.
Things are going to stimulate you. Thank you. Are going to stimulate you, or just have different types of stimulants. So maybe your stimulants can be if you want to just calm your mind before you go to sleep, maybe lighten some incense or candles. So now you have candles in your room. So now you're taking time to do that. Maybe it's having your books very close to you. So then you'll, read your book for that nighttime. Either way, you want to reduce the cues that is going to initiate you to think about that bad habit. Secondly, you want to make it unattractive. Reframe your mindset. So highlight the what's the word I'm looking for? Highlight the benefits of reducing those bad habits or avoiding those bad habits. If you start going to sleep earlier at nighttime, what are some of the things that is going to benefit you versus staying up all night? How is staying up all night hindering you from meeting your goals? Now you're highlighting the bad things as well as, again, you're highlighting the benefits. So you're reframing your mind to make the good habits seem more attractive than the bad habits. So making it unattractive is step 2. Step 3 is making it difficult to do. So you want to, one, it says increase friction. So increase the steps between you and your bad habit. So if your bad habit is, I don't know, let's say eating sweets at nighttime or something like that, then, stop having sweets in your house, or, just have someone put them away for you, or just do whatever you can to make it more difficult to really have those bad habits. And the last thing is make it unsatisfying. So have an accountability partner, have someone that's going to watch your habits, or you can even, they suggest making a habit contract. So when you're making it unsatisfying, you're identifying why this bad habit is, again, bad for you. I think that's the thing. I think we do that so much. Oh my gosh.
Right.
We will concoct something in our head to make
clever.
Not good. Right. To reframe what we know is not good and make it seem like it's the best idea in the world. And we know it's not a good idea. We're clever. We're clever. So the whole idea of this book is redirecting that cleverness to something that's going to benefit you.
I like the contract one.
Yeah.
I like that. I've never heard of that. So are you saying essentially you're writing a contract committing to a certain habit that you're trying, like whatever the goal is or whatever the habit that you want to institute in your life, you're writing a contract committing to it. So when you break the good habit, you breached your contract with yourself. I like that.
Or in this case, because it's about breaking a bad habit, it says create a habit contract, make the cost of your bad habit public and painful.
Ooh, how do you do that? Tell your whole family, make a whole family announcement.
Almost, yeah, almost, because it's like now you're including other people. A lot of the times, like when we know we're not supposed to be doing something, we hush up. We get real quiet about it. We think that we're sneaking around, but this don't affect nobody but you. This don't affect nobody but you. And so when you basically just start to put negative connotations around those bad habits and put in, well, they said make the cost of your habit, make the cost of your bad habit public and painful. I can see how that feels a little bit extreme, but I think the whole point is that you want to just make sure that you know what are some of the negative things, the negative results that come with these poor habits.
Right. It's probably more painful than the consequences that you put in place to move to good habits.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So I love, like I said, I love this book. I love this cheat sheet. They have so many different things. They even talked about like basically cues. So like you said, a cue would be if I know in the morning I want to start drinking my coffee while I walk on the treadmill, I'm going to put my coffee next to the treadmill. That's a cue. So you want to start adding those cues like around your life and around your healthy habits, because that'll trigger your mind to think, to know, to go and do that thing. So
that's good. I gotta finish the book. Because I didn't get to all that good stuff.
Now I got to read it again because I feel like I've forgotten some of these things, and the level of usefulness that it was before. I mean, it literally changed the trajectory of my life at that time. Like I was in a place of, okay, I want to work out more. I was way heavier. I was about, I would say like 80 pounds heavier than where I am right now. So I wanted to do that. I know that I wanted to go into business for myself, but I was like, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how to get started. And so I really had to develop a habit of like educating myself and putting time away to actually start building this business, because I was just so stuck in a 9-to-5 mindset that it was, I go to work, I come home, I do whatever I want. And then on the weekends, I'm not actively engaging in anything that's going to provide any personal or professional development, just because I know I'm going to still get paid because I work at this salary job. So you have to build habits, even as an entrepreneur, that is going to create a great system for you and your business, because that's how you're going to grow. That's how you're going to grow in profits. That's how you're going to grow in visibility. That's how you're going to grow in partnerships. So a lot of this is about your own personal development, but that is going to directly increase your professional development 10 times over. So
go off, sis. You could teach a whole class on habits.
I love this. I love it. And don't let me read this book again, y'all. Y'all gonna be getting TikToks every damn day.
You need to, because we all of us got some bad habits we can let go of. And in our mind, we may not even admit it. We don't think we can, because we are consciously aware when we continue to do the bad habits. We know I'm doing this, oh my gosh. And then we feel bad about it, and then we continue to do it. And so it almost feels like it's permanently, we just can't overcome it. So we need the tips. And then and when you read a book that you've read before that was inspiring, and you read it again, you unlock new levels of understanding, because you've already implemented some things. So you're not reading surface anymore. So when you read it again, you're like, oh, I really get what he's saying, because I'm living proof of trying this and trying that, or what didn't work. So yes, I got to read it. We're going to put the link in the bio for those who don't know about the book. You definitely got to get it. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Does he have a workbook too? I'm sure he does.
He definitely has a workbook, and he also has a newsletter, and he is very consistent with his newsletter. His like 3-2-1. It's funny because I was on, I think I was on Twitter, and somebody was just talking about like consistency as like a content creator, X, Y, and Z, and they use James Clear's 3-2-1 or 1-2-3, however you say it, newsletter as an example, because you're going to get it every day or every other day, and you know that it's going to have, certain tips in there to help with building and breaking good and bad habits. So his level of consistency is there because this is what he do. Like, this is what he do. So he provides you support in so many different ways with the newsletter as a, reminder that can be a cue for you. But this book is not very thick. Let me rephrase it. It's a little thick. It got some pages on there. But if you break it down to doing maybe 10 pages a day or 20 pages a day, you will be through with that book in no time. And it'll make you want to read more because I don't know about you, but I'm very sciencey. So it breaks down like how we like function in our heads about habits. It does so much more than it takes 21 days to build a habit. Like I believe in that, but I need more than that. So with the cheat sheet, he just breaks it down. If I can go over our toolkit for this week, I'm just going to go over these steps again, real quick, 4 for each. So how to create a good habit, make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying.
Obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying.
Yes. And then how to break a bad habit, make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, make it unsatisfying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Invisible, unattractive, unsatisfying. What was the other one?
Make it difficult. Yes. Make it difficult. So some of the habits I want to adapt is waking up earlier. I want to incorporate my 10 pages a day again, because there's so many books out there that we can be reading, we can be learning, whether it's for your own pleasure or leisure reading, or it's to, get yourself at a higher level professionally. Either way, is so much literature out there that we could be, taking it in. And we already know knowledge builds confidence. And we want to show up confident everywhere we go, in our business, in our personal life. And to do that, we really need to continue educating ourselves. So that's another habit that I want to bring in. I want to go back to working out 4 days a week. I've been holding steady with that for probably like the last month or so. So definitely keep on keeping on with that one. And lastly, I also want to increase my productivity, my level of execution. So I'm going to play around with this list because that is a habit that I want to continue to strengthen. And I want to break my habit of being easily distracted.
Yeah, I shared that with you, and developing my higher, increasing my productivity for execution, but also just consistency. Like I'll have good, I won't say habits, but I'll have good strategies that work. They're proven. I do them, and it produces good outcomes. But it's the consistency that moves the needle for me. And so that part has been difficult. But in order to do that, I got to look at what is in the way. I got to assess that first. Because now I have, like you said in the book, I have ways to mitigate the bad habits versus just saying, I'm just not going to do those no more because I know better. So I'm just going to do the right thing. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I have to remove myself from my phone, for instance, or don't, work on my laptop next to the kitchen because I'll snap. Stuff like that. So, this is good. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Oh man, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We really just wanted to come to you, give you some gems, some stuff that we're working on, some challenges that we are learning to overcome, because we always going to speak progression into existence. So yeah, y'all. Corinne, you got any final words?
That's it. I'm ready to, I'm going to get the book. I'm going to order the paperback. I encourage you guys to do it. This episode is not sponsored in any way by James Clear, but it's just a phenomenal book. Yeah, it's a phenomenal book. I recommend anyone gets it. And if you don't want that book, just, try to understand habits in a deeper way so that you can get to what your vision is, arrive at the goals you set, because it is in fact possible, but we just have to reframe our minds in order to get there. So it's possible.
Yes. Now, first of all, ditto. So I will retweet that exactly as you said it. But also, if you have any tips of breaking bad habits, adapting good habits, if you've read the book before and you want to share some of your takeaways, please drop them below in the comments. This is always a learning and collaborative environment. So I'll teach you guys what I know. Corinne teach you what she know. Teach us what you know too, because that may help us in ways that we never even considered before. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your alerts because there's a new episode every Womenomics Wednesday. And we are just so happy to be rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with us. And thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Womenomics Podcast.
Womenomics Podcast.
Womenomics Podcast.